The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to the Weekend Podcast. We're recording this on a Friday night, so it's a bit of a disclaimer. A couple of us have been out for the, it's almost, we're partly free now. We're not on lockdown. Some of us have been out and we've sampled a few ales, a few beers, a few wines, a few Prosecco's. Paddy, Pete and Steve are here. You all right, lads?
Yeah. Do the listeners have to guess who the two are?
Yeah. That's a good quiz. Guess who's had a drink and who hasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming two of us have had drinks, have we? And two have not had drinks?
Maybe.
Who knows?
I think that's accurate. Yeah.
But in 30 days, boys, we'll become free. We'll be unlocked. Be able to roam and run around the neighborhoods naked and say, "Yes, I'm free at last. Free at last." Did you find at the moment? I don't feel like we are in super lockdown, but I'm looking forward to being super unlockdown. You know, in about 30 days, which the 17th now. This is going out on a Saturday. It's the 17th of April. 17th of May, we're free. You know, we're free to hug, free to kiss, free to shake hands, free to go...
The day before my birthday, which is works out perfectly. You don't give me a birthday kiss and hug.
How's that different to now?
Yeah. Most importantly, guys, we're free to go to escape rooms.
Here we go, a drunken rant.
No. Anyway, we're going to talk about social interaction, because Paddy talked about that. He had a problem with social interaction this week. And also stop losses.
Thanks for your support on that one, by the way.
That's all right. Also, stop losses. And I don't know how to say this. Is it Seaspiracy or Seapiracy? There's a documentary on that Pete talked about. I watched. A couple of other people in the club mentioned it. It's worth watching. It's phenomenal. But I just feel a bit disappointed that, Prince Philip's funeral is shut to the public. So I know a lot of us want to go along and pay floral tributes. We can't do that.
I'm still going. I'm one of the 30, so...
Oh, okay. Well, what the royal family suggested is you donate to a charity of his choice.
I'm still going. I'm going to 30, so yeah.
Oops.
What?
Sorry.
That's all right to say. Even Siri was disappointed.
Yeah, Steve's microwave.
Yeah, and also they've suggested we sign a book of condolence online. So let's just say, have you done that yet?
I haven't yet, no.
Okay, well, get online, sign the book of condolence,
right.
And also do not pay floral tributes to Prince Philip. I know a lot of you want to, but don't do that. The royal families, don't do that. Because we all want to just get out there and pay floral tributes.
Did he just want cash?
Yeah, he just wants cash to charities.
Just leave some cash.
Yeah.
No, I did want to tribute florally.
Yeah, no. This is a lady. I heard this lady on BBC saying that. She said, "I know lots of people want to go out there to Windsor and pay floral tributes to Prince." I thought, what? Who does? What? Really? I mean, the majority of people don't want to do that, do they? Really?
No.
Most people are just saying,
Cross my mind, but...
get it off TV. It's been dominating now for weeks, please. He was 99. He had a good life. He had a good innings. Let's move on, please. There's more important things going on in the world. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, but there we are. But go online, book a condolence online, and you can do that. And the good news is, did you see the boss TUI, the biggest tour operator in the country, said this week that summer holidays can be saved. And he thinks now, because of the vaccine programs, the successful vaccine programs, they'll be running 75% of their stock will be available this summer. That's very good, I think, isn't it? I just genuinely feel we are, going towards it. We are heading towards this, light at the end of the tunnel. Don't you?
You could argue that he has a vested interest in...
He does, yeah. He was talking up the stock, yeah.
A little bit.
Do you know what? It doesn't matter what the size the company is, the CEO is trying to ramp the stock.
Exactly, right. Come on, it's going to be fine. And all those countries are like, we're not having any visitors, thanks.
Thing is, I went out this evening, it's Friday evening, I went out with Vanessa and Lee from South Africa. And it's odd that we are from this country and we criticise our government. Of course we do, because they made a lot of mistakes. I know Paddy politics is always down on Tories. And I understand why. But Lee who's from South Africa, has nothing but praise for the vaccine programme. And he thinks, compared to where, obviously, South Africa, he thinks Britain are smashing it.
Yeah, well, the vaccine programme has been.
Yeah, but he's saying that you can criticise whatever you want. Most governments didn't know what they're doing. He genuinely thinks the UK is amazing. And,
to be fair, though, you could say that about any government. Most governments in the world, outside in like Asia, not Asia, what parts of the world, but like third world countries. Yeah, Africa. Or anyway,
the Africa.
To be fair, our government is actually pretty good when you look at certain around the world.
Can I just say, sorry, Steve isn't one of the people that's been drinking, but sounds the most drunk.
Yeah, people are pressing the buzzer now. Steve's been drinking. Steve's drunk. No, he's not.
Hasn't touched a drop.
It turns out Steve is more. he's more lucid.
I think you'd think I'm more drunk if I started speaking sense, to be honest with you.
Steve is more lucid when he's walking up to the sofa in someone else's house and comes to the podcast on a Saturday morning. And what's going on? Where am I? I'm on a podcast. But no, Steve, do you know what? He leaves from South Africa, cannot criticise this government. He said, listen, honestly, this country right now is at the forefront. They're doing the best. They're beating every other country. And he's obviously not from this country, but he's really proud of this country. And it's amazing how we are so critical. I understand we've grown up with it and we know about Tories. And even like this week, Matt Hancock has got shares in his sister's company. It's being involved in a contract in the Welsh NHS. It's all a bit of dodgy nonsense. And I think politicians should not be allowed to invest in any company whatsoever, because it's corruption there somewhere. But as far as the vaccination programme is concerned, we are killing it. We are killing it. We are really doing the business. And that's they're going to, Boris and all that, they're going to want to forget the mess-ups they've made previously. And this is where they're going to say, listen, guys, we are, the vaccine programme, let's be honest, Paddy, even you, a communist, anti-Tory, you've got to say the vaccine programme is spot on, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I have said that lots of times.
They started doing the under-40s in Wales now as well.
The under-14s?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But you have to separate these two things. Like, it's not, you can't just say, the vaccine's great, therefore we forget about all the other mistakes they've made. Like, you have to separate them. Yeah, they've had success in this area. We're lucky in this country that we've got a big pharmaceutical industry, so we're sort of set up in that regard. But
a great health service that is delivering those vaccines. It's not really down to the government.
No, do you know what? That's it. That's the thing. They're saying that's the problem with the testing programme. The government was in charge of it.
Yeah.
If you'd given it the NHS, it'd been fine. The thing is now, Boris and Matt
Trace as well.
Matt Hancock, right? Let's be honest. He is useless. And Boris has got a bit of he's charismatic. But we all know...
That's one word.
Yeah, we all know he's an absolute, imbecile as far as the organisation is concerned. He's a top-down guy. He's not involved in details. But if he just, gets the NHS involved, he's now, saying, oh, okay, it's a success. Because the NHS has done it. He hasn't done it. But, I mean, that's where you go, Anyway, let's talk about stocks, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Good.
Let's not get into politics. No. I thought it was funny this week, Pad, because... I said we can't do the podcast on Saturday morning because it's Friday night, and I realised I was going out on Friday night, and because it's the first time we've been out, you can go to pubs now in a garden. Our local pub's done an amazing job, right? It's literally got these booths with heaters in the garden, and I realised they've spent so much money as a business on these little areas, but yet they're getting half the people in. I think, wow, so their margins have been squeezed.
Well, the pints twice the price.
No. The thing is, obviously they have been shut for months. But what I realised is, right now, so you're only allowed outside, but they've got these amazing little booths with heaters about. We were sitting there today in T-shirts, even though the temperature was about 8 degrees, 9 degrees. It was so hot because they had these little booths with heaters in them. And I realised in the winter...
environmental disaster.
It is, but I realised in the winter, when we're all safe to go, they'll have people inside, because they can't have people inside now, and outside, which they couldn't do previously, So they'll probably double their revenue in the winter because you can sit outside and have drinks and smokes and whatever, and you're warm. That's good, though, isn't it? They've sort of invested for the future. And I think the pandemic, of course, is messed up a lot of businesses. But it's also, to a certain extent, it's insulated you for the future. Do you think? I mean, some people have invested in the future, and I think steps you take now will pay off in the future. You know, I don't want to go into small little cafes anymore where people can shake my hands and kiss my face. I don't want that anymore. I never liked that anyway.
Yeah, they're not cafes, Justin. Well, yeah, I think there are going to be some changes, some by almost by accident. You know, some things have been forced upon people, but actually might turn out to be a better way of operating for some businesses. I'm not particularly talking about that, but so are you thinking you'll never go to a cafe again ever in the future?
No, I'm just thinking I can go to that pub now in the winter and sit outside, not have to sit inside. I'll be warm. You can smoke fags out there if you want to, if you're a smoker, and you'll be warm and have a meal out there. So they've doubled their capacity because previously they wouldn't have had people out sitting outside in the winter, but now they've got enclosed booths. They're amazing, you know?
Creates the environment, letting all that heat outside.
It's an absolute disaster for the environment.
That is the downside, I suppose.
They banned those heats in France because of that. It's, like heating the outside is, I mean, that is...
Yeah.
We're heating the environment.
I need to swear,
yeah.
I mean, this is literally the worst idea going.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's go to stocks.
What's the ticker?
Let's go. Let's go to stocks.
Threats in our future which are going to cause us lots of problems. Global warming is probably one of them. So solving one problem by heating up the planet is probably not, long term is not a great idea.
Okay, let me tell you a local issue of me that I thought was very short-term thinking, right? Southampton Airport has shut down. It's gone bust, pretty much. Flybe has gone bust, right?
Really?
They've got this is what was the thing. They had a short runway, which means they can only do local flights. So you couldn't do long haul flights because the big planes couldn't land there. And then it was and Flybe went bust, and that was the main operator in Southampton. It's like 10 miles away from me. Oh no, 5 miles away from me. And so then there was extend the runway, and we can get bigger planes come in, go to far reach destinations, long haul. And we're talking about 2,000 people jobs creation. And if you work that out, say 2,000 people times like an average wage of 25, 30 grand, that's a lot of money, in the local environment because it's a small economy. And then local people say, no, it's too loud, too noisy. But most people moved there when the airport was there anyway. And I thought, hang on, in a couple of years' time, airplanes will be electric or there'll be some alternative fuel going on. So
in a couple of years?
Well, no, in about 10 years. In about 10 years, no, they won't. Electric vehicles are not noisy, are they? They're so quiet. So these people say, no, it's been noisy and diesel. And you moved there when the airport was there. You knew about this.
Yeah,
Don't start
there's no excuse. It's like the people who live around Heathrow who moan about the airport. I mean, that's been there since 1912 or something. Like, you knew it was there.
Yeah, exactly. But the short-term gain. So people were criticising this, saying, let's shut it down. And so it went to the first discussion, and it was shut down. Planning was shut down. No, done. And it went to an appeal. And all of a sudden, they got it. They said, no, it's done. Pass it. They've got a longer runway. And I think that's a good thing, because essentially it's creating 2,000 jobs there, right? And of course, most people in this area, it's Eastleigh actually, not Southampton, it's Eastleigh. It's got a rough area, Southampton. And they needed jobs. And within 10 years, let's be honest, there'll be electric planes flying out there, quiet as heck, flying to Thailand. We can get a lady boy. No, what I'm saying is, no. But I'm saying is, people are short-term thinking on this, aren't they? Because diesel and petrol engines will not be around forever. So they will have planes sooner or later on hydrogen or electric. There will be...
See, I'm not sure about this because on my hiking walks last weekend, the guys...
Hiking walks,
yeah. We went up to Brecon and one of the guys took us in his electric car and pretty much almost ran out by the time we got up there. So we had to literally do an emergency diversion to a Morrison's to sit in the car park for half an hour.
Yeah, but when you were in Morrison, Steve, you didn't sit in the car, did you? You actually went in, didn't you?
Well, I hadn't got past Steve, but...
Right,
yeah.
There we are. That is stimulating the economy. Isn't it?
I think electric planes are quite a way off.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't think that's even in testing yet.
No, but hang on, Steve, if you hadn't done that, right, you'd gone straight home, you hadn't spent that £1 on a pasty.
But no, sorry, my point of the whole conversation is, what's the plane going to do? Just suddenly go, okay, we're halfway across the water. Actually,
no, I don't. Well, that's not going to be the case, is it? Where they say we're going to Spain now, we haven't charged. In fact, you know what? The pilot Jeff here, Jeff the pilot, hasn't charged up properly.
Well, no,
we're going to stop in Bournemouth.
We left with a full charge, but when it says you've got 200 miles, that went down by 100 miles in about 10 miles because we had the aircon on.
Why have you got the aircon on?
Cold.
You're in Wales.
It was cold.
In like, what, April?
When are we going to start recording the podcast?
Sorry. It's a funny
We started yet?
Yeah, let's start.
Right, action.
So let me say, this is something I posted on the Sharepickers investment site, okay? So I released a new stock idea. Only people, I'm not going to mention it, only people in the members club would get this stock idea. It rose quite quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know how to solve this. But it rose. A lot of members were annoyed they didn't get some stock. But I keep trying to explain. Megan made fun of me. And I said, listen, I'm trying to... The investment club is amazing. I really do believe that. And I believe the chat group is really supportive and really helpful because there's people in there who know a lot and they provide support. And I said, listen, it's not about me giving you fish, you know. That's not the stock idea. The investment club is not about me just giving you stock ideas. It's about enabling you to find your own stock ideas, you know. And I said to Megan, and she thought that's very cheesy. I said, it's like the old thing about not giving you fish. It's giving you rods so you can find your own fish, you know. And I said, a lot of people got a bit narky because someone leaked, apparently. How
did they know that someone leaked it? I didn't understand.
I don't know, because it doesn't matter if they leaked it. It's a small cap company. And even if the members of the club took part, started buying...
But even calling it a leak suggests that, you know, it's like you're giving some amazing information. You're not. You're just saying what you're doing now.
Yeah.
I watched a video. I thought it was interesting. And I did buy some stock, but it was very hard to get hold of any because... It's obviously pretty tightly held.
There's a bit of, what I found, there's a bit of wrangling, but it turns out one of the members bought the stock about 3 or 4 days before I even mentioned it. He was, and listen, I actually DM him and say, listen, wind your neck in a little bit. Because he was saying, because my analogy is this, I say, if it's, one of the biggest mistakes private investors make is chasing a hot stock, chasing it up, trying to buy it because it's getting hot. That's the biggest mistake you never make. Fear of missing out is the biggest mistake you never make. It's all about emotion, you know. And I said, investing is as much about psychology as it is about researching or picking winners. You know, fear of missing out is one of, if not the biggest emotion that causes people to lose money. No one likes losing money or missing the chance of making money. And one of the guys in the group had bought in about 3 days before. And I often, I give the analogy of a bus. I say, if a bus is pulling off, you don't chase the bus. You don't try and chase the next stop. You just wait to stop. Same as stocks. There's opportunities every day in the stock market. You know, just because I suggest one or you suggest one doesn't mean it's the one. You know, there's plenty of opportunities there.
And also, I think a lot of the stocks that you suggest that you're investing in, quite often, in fact, most of the time, the price will pull back, or there's plenty of other times they're buying anyway. As you say. So actually, just because you haven't bought on the day that you've mentioned it doesn't mean you missed it at all. In fact, sometimes that could be a bonus because you get a better price.
The last few you've mentioned have gone down.
Yeah, but this is what happened, right? One of the guys, that was quite funny, he started posting little emojis of a bus saying, guys, you're missing out on the bus. Jump on the bus. Quick, quick, quick. And the stock went up by quite a lot. And people started saying, don't do that, please. This is not bulletin boards. This is not Twitter. And he thought it was quite amusing because he was in the stock, you know. And he was in, and he had little emojis of the bus and a little emoji of a person running after the bus. And I said, don't. And a couple of people had a go at him. And I had to DM him and say, listen, I understand it don't mean any harm, but it's a very emotional thing, investing. And I'm trying to teach here that fear of missing out is one of the biggest things you have to avoid. And you're encouraging people to try and get on that bus, chase that bus. Don't chase that bus. And he said, oh, sorry, I didn't realise that. I was just having a laugh. And people took umbrage with that, you know. And I said, listen, today, I'm sure a few of you felt fear of missing out. And if you resisted it, that's a positive, really is. Yeah. And that's the best thing as an investor you can do If you see a stock going like crazy, do not jump on it. Do not. If you can control that, if you have the discipline and the ability to recognise and reject that emotion, this will help you pick winners in the future. And also, not only that, not only pick winners in the future, but also stay with them when they have, like Escape Hunt, right? Or Gfinity. They go up and down. It's volatile. The market's volatile. But I believe they're going to go a lot higher. Now, if you can have that discipline to not chase a stock, you'll also have the discipline to stay in a stock. And that means you can get a multi-bagger. And that's where you'll really earn lots of money. It's just having the ability to stay in the stock, have the patience, discipline. Because this stock we talked about, it'll go up, it'll come back down. I guarantee in about 2 weeks' time, you'll be able to get entry at a good price. And it's very much about the mental, isn't it, more than anything else, like anything in life. Years ago, I think sports guys, top sports guys, I remember there's a podcast about sports psychology somewhere, and as a younger kid, I didn't realise how big a part psychology played in sports, but it is all that, isn't it? If you see the best rugby players in the world, like some of the best conversion kickers, and they have a penalty and they missed their first one in a big match, all of a sudden they'll miss the second one because their confidence is gone, and it's all about that, isn't it? It's hugely about psychology and the mind, isn't it? Anything in life, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big part of it, and I suppose from experience, not to dive in on spikes because it will settle, and as Steve was saying, it will pull back. As Paddy was saying, they do go down. So it's that classic: is do your own research, have an understanding of what you're getting into. I mean, you can't do your research like people buying today. Obviously, you haven't done. And I'm one of them. Like I have done a huge amount of research. I watched your video and understood enough about it. But it's an interesting company but not without risk. Because as you pointed out in the video, they're on a recovery, and they're getting to that place where they could really push on from here, and they are materially undervalued potentially, aren't they? But
yeah. But I said this about the thing. Do you know what I said this about Escape Hunt? I realise the only advantage we have as investors, right? I'm trying to find what I said to someone earlier on. Someone said, I don't know if they're going to do well, this company. Same with Escape Hunt, and Gfinity. The best time to buy, the advantage we've got as private investors is uncertainty and fear. If we do lots of research and you buy into uncertainty and fear, you get the stock at a cheap price. If certainty is nailed on, if they're saying we are delivering growth upon growth every quarter, you will not get a stock at a cheap price. You have to buy and read between the lines of every report, pretty much. Do your own research and think, okay, now this stock I bought into right now, they need more sales, right? They genuinely.
That's the thing.
Are they going to get it? I don't know, but I think they will.
If they release they have an RNS out next week with a massive contract or whatever, then wow, that would be amazing, because then that really then will kick on. Financially, that really pushes him into a differerent realm. And
do you know what I was worried
about?
Great. Do you know what I was worried about? I released the video to the members of the club, and on Friday, this is Thursday night, and I was genuinely worried they would release an RNS on Friday about a new contract. And I thought people were going to say, I'm inside. I thought, no, listen, you can check all my emails and everything. I'm not inside on anything, and I would never actually be inside. But that's what I was really worried about. I was really worried they're going to come up with a gangbuster sort of contract. We'd go nuts.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, we realise now, when I'm learning every day. That's why I love the stock market. I'm learning every day. And I realise, looking back at March, the biggest sell-off we've ever had. Boys, Paddy, you've not been in the market long, but that sell-off we had back in March was the fastest, most aggressive sell-off I've ever witnessed in 20 years of the stock market. But I realised that was the time to buy. Fear is our friend.
That was a missed opportunity. Trying to think.
I think you've blown your cover there, Paddy.
No, I'm not stumbling. I'm just trying to smash the words together. It doesn't like to.
What's your word? Drop opportunity?
Yeah, drop opportunity, opportunity, missed opportunity, missed opportunity.
It's just missed opportunity, isn't it? It was a missed opportunity, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think at the time, my fear was, and I think everyone's fear was, right, this is an unprecedented situation. How low will it go, and how long will it stay low? But in retrospect, yeah, it was madness. I should have literally put my house on anything, and it would have been good.
Yeah. Well, that was a one.
Yeah.
That was a 1 in 100 years scare. You know, we hadn't seen a pandemic since 1912 when the Spanish flu came out, as we know it now. They didn't have a vaccine, and the flu killed millions of people. And now we can react a lot faster. Of course, pharma can generate these vaccines. It's phenomenal. Don't bet against human ingenuity. They came up with vaccines within 10 months, and years ago that would take them years to do that. And so we did, when we went into lockdown in March 20th. We didn't know how long it'd be in lockdown. We didn't know. We had no vaccine on the horizon, so it was uncertainty. But that's when you buy. So you buy on uncertainty, you buy on fear. If you want to get an advantage in the market, you buy on. Those are your friend. Uncertainty of fear is your friend. And you can question. The stock I mentioned, people say, well, I don't know if it's going to do well. I said, well, that's the thing. You wouldn't get this cheap. Go on.
How does this work then? Because I'm just thinking that for people who aren't in your club who are listening to this is quite dull.
Yeah.
How does it now work with your release strategy? When will you talk about this company openly?
A month, yeah.
A month, okay,
Yeah.
A month.
In fact, there's a.
So you might have actually sold it by then.
No. There's a stumbling block here. I've realised I've made a mistake because. I'll tell us to the club as well. I will have to release TR1 very soon. But let me say this: the audience. Let me say.
That's going to give the game away.
No. Let me say this though: the audience who will read a TR1 is very small. Let's be honest. Who reads holdings and companies? I do generally, but how many people read RNSs? Holdings and companies. Not many people do.
No. So if you're already following it, then you'll get that, obviously. But if you're not, then...
if you're not, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
On this company in particular, like I don't know where you found that this week, or how you kind of come across that, or whatever. But like you said, there's a guy in the club who'd already bought in a few days before, so he'd found it. So I sort of think I don't have a lot of time / inclination to go out really hunting and searching for these, and so I just listen to what people are pushing out there, you being primarily the top one, but other people in the club could raise that and could kind of go, because it comes down to awareness, doesn't it? It comes down to, and that's the biggest thing you've got now, because you've got an audience and you're putting it out there, and via this podcast and whatever. That's the biggest difference. So the guy that bought a few days ago, he doesn't have that platform, although he does now because he's part of the club. So he could go into the channel and go, one of the channels, whatever, the sub 10 channel, and go, hey guys, I've seen this. This is quite an interesting one. You might pick up on it, and it might gain wider publicity through the club. But that's the point of the point of the club, isn't it? So, people bringing things to the fore. And sharing information.
Do you know what? This week on the webinar, we have two guys pitching two stocks.
Oh, okay.
That fit our strategy. They're going to have 5-minute pitches, and we're not criticising, we're just chatting about it. Say, is this a good company or not? And someone said to me, how did you find this company? Because we've gone through quite a few companies in your strategy recently, and this company wasn't in it. And I said, do you know what? I was doing the video on screeners, teaching people how to use a screener on TradingView.
Okay, yeah.
And I came across this company. I thought, hang on, let me look at this. And I looked at it and thought, hang on a sec. And sometimes it's a gut feeling. And I looked a bit more. I've seen it a couple of times, and I thought it was a trash stock. And I read more into it. I thought, hang on a second. And I looked at the revenue, recurring revenue, and I thought, oh, hang on. And a couple of things. And when it all comes from experience, isn't it? It's like, it's like anything in life. It's like, I don't know where you are in your lives, but if you've been doing a job for a while, you'll understand certain problems. If you are an IT guy and someone comes to you with an issue, you have certain things in your head. Let's try this first, let's try this second, and you will have a workaround. Oh, I understand what this is. And that's when stock picking is the same. It's like you will say, okay, let's look at this, look at that. Oh, hang on. And then certain things will flag up, white flags, I don't know what they are, but not red flags. But, this is interesting. I looked at this and I did a bit more deep research. And this all came from I posted that video on the member site saying, this is how to use screeners. If you have a strategy and you know what you're looking for, this will cut down your research time just by using it. So I found it that way. And someone said to me, they said, the worrying thing is the final accounts read like nearly went bust in 2020. But I guess that's the risk. I said, that's why they're cheap. I said, fear and uncertainty is our friend. If a promising future was nailed on, the share price would be a lot higher. The question is, can the management make a success of this? Yeah. I reckon they can. That's why I invested. That there is a little bit of a punt. But you look at other things like, are they funded? Yes, they are. The biggest risk of any small cap company is, are they funded? And yes, they are. And so you take it from there and you move forward then. You say, okay, they are severely undervalued compared to peers. And then you move forward, you know. So, yeah, but it's like anything, isn't it? I mean, Pete, your job, I don't know anything about your job. It's all cloaks and mirrors and stuff. But you are in SEO and all that stuff. I know nothing about that. But you will look at someone's website and you say, okay, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I can fix this straight away. I would have no idea about that. So that's where you specialise. And that's what I'm saying. When you become, start looking at stocks and stuff and you want to earn money, it just takes time, doesn't it? It's experience, isn't it, really? You know?
Yeah, and that's absolutely. And we're tapping into that, aren't we? Because you talk about that and you point things out. And like I say, on this particular, quite a few of your videos where you're stating stuff, and I've learned a lot over the last few years about what good value looks like and where the risk is. And going back to our resource stocks and all that sort of stuff, really understanding where the risk is with those, and that. We've all kind of lost money on those stocks here and there, but then at the same time learned a lot, and we got better, and we did make some money out of resource stocks, and I still continue to do that a little bit. I know the rest.
I think everyone's going to have their own set of criteria as well, a little bit, aren't they? Like I wouldn't invest in an oil and gas company anymore, and I even if it was nailed on and you set out all of your reasons for liking it, or if Pete was talking about it, I still wouldn't do it. Environmentally, it's not for me, and I'm sure. Other people might look at this stock and just kind of go, you know what, I don't know enough about that sector. It's just not of interest to me. Therefore, I'm gonna sidestep it. So it will always be a selection of different reasons why people decide to use their spare cash to jump into a company.
Yeah.
Well, I had this week, right? This guy came up to me and said, Justin, he said, in the chat group, he said, Justin, and it's just a company to me. It's a mining company. Said, they're going to be profitable very soon. I said, I'm not into mining, I'm really not into that stuff. He said, but it fits a lot of your strategy filters. I said, I know, but mining's not my thing anymore. I'm not into it. And he said, okay, fair enough. I said, good luck with it. It went up something like 60% on that day. And I said, he said up 93% a day. I said, did you get in? Yes, it did. I said, good work, fella. He said, thanks so much. And that's good. And the thing is, there are always opportunities, but you have to have your own strategy. You really do. It's like, I don't know, Steve, for example. Steve, when you go, your job now is, what is your job? Going along and doing commercial videos for people, yeah? And you can understand straight away, you have a take on something, don't you? You just go there and say, okay, I can see what we can do here. Now, they suggest something that's really, out of the left field. You don't do that. It's very cheesy. Or straight away. Gut feeling. You have that feeling. So you've got to have a strategy. And if you are brilliant at mining and oil and gas, fine, stick with that. But don't jump around the market going for recovery stocks or stocks that are going to bust. Don't go. Have a strategy, a very niche strategy, and get good at it. So I always come back to this thing. It's like, I would not call an electrician to do my plumbing. I want a GP to do brain surgery. You've got to specialise in a certain little niche field. When you get to that area where you're comfortable with, you'll do very well. Because especially in small caps now, I've sold quite a few big stocks. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to broadcast what they are. I've sold quite a few big stocks because I got carried away with certain things. And I thought, hang on, if I look back at what I've done well on, it's not been the bigger stocks. It's been the smaller stocks where I've seen a turnaround happening. And so I'm going to now, really double down on that area and really go for that area and really specialise in those areas and go back to my strategy. Always learning, and like I said, do you know what? That's why Anthony Joshua, he always keeps saying, I'm always learning. He does say that, doesn't he? Okay. Anthony Joshua is like, what do you think? Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are going to fight, right? I love Tyson. Tyson Fury is amazing, right? Because he keeps winding up Anthony Joshua. I don't know if you saw this week, he posted a video of him, really, he's a big guy, but he's a fast puncher for his size. And he quoted a bit of text from the Bible. The text of the Bible he quoted was from Joshua 1. It's like he's winding Anthony Joshua up before the fight. That's brilliant. But he was very fast. But what I'm saying is, you've got to specialise. You know, unless you specialise in any field whatsoever.
Perhaps your strategy shouldn't be just following tips on Twitter and guys on podcasts as well. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy just to follow. That must be like just it's very worthwhile just taking a breath and knowing the areas of interest that you're willing to invest in.
Yeah. You bought all sorts of shares that I haven't bought. And I've missed out. I know that, but you know, you can't just follow you into every trade that you do, every stock investment that you make. Yeah,
I know. But no, these, you know what? It's like Paddy said there. Did you watch? It's one documentary, Seaspiracy, because I loved that and I watched it.
Loved it.
I understand. Yeah. I understand there's obviously inaccuracies.
What do you think of the name? Because I don't know. If
it's a crap name, yes, because it's...
If I'm coming out with a name, I would probably go with Conspiracy.
Yes, like that,
nice.
yes. But what I'm saying is, what he's doing is preempting the people who say, no, it's a lot of rubbish. Now, the plastic straw, if you've not watched TV recommendation, if you've not watched Seaspiracy, it's worth watching because... We have been the plastic straw. The plastic straw is the biggest now enemy to human race. We think that's what we think. But if you look at the fact of it, and I don't know if these stats are right, but he says 0.03% of the plastic pollution is down to the plastic straw. 46% is down to commercial fishing, and we think, oh really? So why isn't anyone talking about commercial fishing? And the world's ecosystem is very clever, right? In order for us to thrive, we have to make sure other creatures thrive. So if one layer gets wiped out, the other layers of the ecosystem suffer. And this is it's amazing to watch this, and it makes no sense, you know. So
but one thing with all these documentaries is I don't know what the truth is anymore.
No, I don't. I don't. But you know what? Do you know? I'm not joking though. If you look at all the crap that's washed up on beaches, there's a lot of netting, and if you look at how much they do,
plastic. Fishing nets.
That all makes complete sense, doesn't it? Yeah. But something to be floating in the sea that's not great to be floating in the sea just by the nature of what it is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you look at it, it's worth watching this because the presenter starts off by trying to figure out how to stop sort of plastic pollution in the sea, and realises most charities and campaigns are focusing on stuff that doesn't have any impact whatsoever, like plastic straws, right? The fishing industry's impact on sea life is massive. 300,000 dolphins, whales and porpoises are killed by fishing operations per year. And they call them accidental catch, because they're fishing for tuna or whatever, and they're catching sharks, dolphins, and they just kill them,
Yeah. Can I just question one of your points you just made a few minutes ago? Was that the plastic straw is the biggest threat to mankind when we're sat in the middle of a global pandemic. But maybe, you might be right. I don't know.
No. We believed that. We thought everyone went, McDonald's and all these people said, we're going to ban plastic straws. It has little or no impact.
I don't think that was ever a campaign. I think that was more just the public going, what useless plastic things are around us. And that for some reason we picked on straws as the big thing.
But essentially...
you're right. If you're going to get worried about plastic in the ocean, then look for the biggest culprit. I'm not sure how you stop fishermen doing that at sea, but...
as an inventor, do you know what, as an investor, I thought, right, I looked at that and I thought, right, okay, again, this is another stock I sold out of early. I thought, the only way you solve... They said, if you go to the website, Seaspiracy, they give you 3 ways to solve this problem. Essentially, we'll be wiped out. The oceans create more oxygen and all that for the world than any other Amazon rainforests or anything. So if we wipe out the oceans and kill it... Say again?
Is that option one?
No, but if we don't take care of the oceans, we're wiped out. It's a bigger threat to the planet than the Amazon jungle, So I thought, okay, one of the things they said is, eat more plant-based food, they said.
Yep.
And I thought, do you know what? Agronomics, I invested in a while back. This is going back to investing. And as I was running on the treadmill watching this, I thought, bloody hell. This is what I thought like 3 years ago. It's killing me. The amount of stocks I've got out of, because it was a hot trend, and I got out of it. It fits my strategy, sort of. And there was some 20 million market cap at the time. Now, I'm looking at the chart, Anik, here, at Agronomics, where they invest in, meat culture. They went from like 7...
Are you now actually burping live on the podcast?
You're going to start to fall asleep, aren't you?
5 pence. When I was talking about them, they were 5 pence, right?
Right.
They're now 26 pence.
Yeah.
Oh, what a missed opportunity. What a
But exactly, and going back to the earlier conversation about the stock you've talked about this week in the club and all that, but it's big rise, it will settle, and then it isn't about this week, it isn't about this month, it is about, okay, what could this look like in the next 6 to 12 months or whatever, and then agronomic. I can't remember that's one I didn't get into at all, but missed that early move, and then it's gone on and on and on since then. So I've missed a 5-bagger there. But,
Do you know what? I said to people there, I said, listen, you are always going to miss opportunities. You can't be on every one.
Yeah.
But what you have to be able to do is come to the level where you understand there's an opportunity and you go big with conviction. I believe this now. I've started selling down my stocks. I really have. And now I have, how many stocks have I put? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks in my portfolio. I think that's one too many, probably 2 too many,
So you're following my strategy.
Yeah, is one of the ones you sold, does it start with S and end in K-Punt?
No way.
No? Oh, okay.
No, listen, I said this on the... it was nice to be join the webinar, Peter, this week.
I did. I made the effort. I had some free time, and I thought I'd make the effort and join.
I don't want to be, ramping it, but you know how much I believe in Escape Hunt, and I believe it'll be 150 a share within 3 years, and so I'm in at the good level. And that's the thing, it's a psychology again. When you get in the good price, stick with it, and it's a good business. Mm-hmm. Stick with it. Don't worry about. It's risen very quickly this week, and I saw a lot of negativity. It's amazing. The channel on Escape Hunt in the group there, people started top slicing, and I thought, you don't make money by top slicing and diluting and putting a little bit more money in somewhere else. Don't top slice. Go in with conviction.
No, hold on. Don't top slice when you think it is undervalued. That's what you're saying. Like top slice when something is over. Like if.
Top slice resort stocks. Don't top slice companies, decent businesses.
Imagine, close your eyes and imagine Escape Hunt is at £1.50 or no, £2. You'd be top slicing then, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. Well, what price?
£2.
At £2, yeah, but it'd be worth 6 million to me.
No,
yeah.
I'm just challenging you on your don't top slice. Yeah, you would top slice. You'd top slice at about 50. I think you'd top slice at about a pound or £1.20.
Someone questioned me, and they said, I said, I'm not. So listen, I said I'm not top slicing nothing, and someone said that's a double negative. This is how clever the group is, right? They're picking up everything. I said, people are top slicing here on Escape Hunt and Gfinity. I said, I'm not top slicing nothing. And I did an accent in my head, and I texted it. And someone said, that's a double negative.
Yes.
And I said, okay. I said, LOL. And I've got this quote here. I said, LOL. It was written in a West Country accent for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, for clarity, I haven't sold a share, a bean, a sausage of Escape Hunt or Gfinity, and I won't, as long as the story doesn't change. Why sell a few here and there when I believe it will go to £1.50 in time? If I've learned anything about investing, it's you don't make good money by tinkering around the edges, by top slicing here and there. diluting your holdings by adding a little bit you've sliced into other companies. You need to do some decent research, find a winner, then go in with conviction at a decent price. But most importantly, hold with conviction. It's hard to do, and that's why most people can't do it. Most people will sell on the suggestion of a sell-off. They'll sell. It's often the difference. Hang on, let me finish. It's often the difference between a few small, inconsequential winners and a big, massive wealth creation winner. It's conviction.
But it is a matter of opinion, and I'm not talking about escape hunt. I'm talking about anything. Top slicing is where you think it's run its course, or it is now at a position where you're starting to question how much more it's able to gain in the short term, and you think your money is better used elsewhere. So you top slice because you think it is kind of now, a fair or overvalued company.
Yeah, I don't see. Right, I don't see. Right, I honestly don't see any safer bet or investment than escape hunt.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I've got
There's a danger here.
I've weighed it up several times, and for weeks I've been searching for new stocks.
But that's your opinion. That's what I'm trying to get to. Somebody else might look at it now and go, "Yeah, I think this is."
I guess it depends how much you're slicing as well, no?
Yeah, but let me say one thing. I've looked around. I every day I look for new stocks. Every day, right? Every single day I look for new stocks. And sometimes I think, so I slice Escape Hunt or Gfinity, and I come back to the thing is, I don't see at the moment any better opportunity than Gfinity and Escape Hunt, even though they are 35-40 million market cap. I see them nailed on to several baggers still.
Okay, but in the same way that you're saying, people don't just follow me into trades on investments, don't just buy into it because I'm buying into it. At the same time, you should also be saying, don't not sell because I'm not selling.
No, I'm not saying that. No, listen, people will trade it. People will trade it. Yes, people will trade it.
People will top slice. People will look at Escape Hunt at 40p and go, well, okay, it may get to 150, but how long? And there's another stock over here I'm interested in. I'm going to sell holding. Completely de-risk, perhaps, and go into here and still have a holding in Escape Hunt, or completely sell out at 40p. And who knows? In 2 months' time, it could be back down to 25p, and they're laughing, aren't they? Or it might be at 60p, and we go, "Oh, you've missed out there." But that is stop. That's investment.
But you know what? I had one guy reply to that email saying, "You're right. What is it? Agree with tinkering. It hardly ever goes right. I sold Polarian at 40 pence. I was up 80%." Thinking they would drop back until close to October. I end up buying back in at 60 pence. Yeah. So he sold at 40, he bought back. And that's the thing. You will sell a little bit at for example, Skimming, you will sell a little bit at 40 pence and you'll end up realising and you'll buy back in at 45, 50 pence. Think, the momentum, this is so strong. And that's what often happens. Time in the market beats trying to time the market. If you're in a good company at a good price, and it's got a good business model, stick with it. You'll have sell-offs, of course it'll be up and down, but the conviction there is, and I said, discipline is that. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I'm going to top slice Escape Hunt.
How much you exactly? How much you in top slice?
Well, that depends, doesn't it? Did he say in the chat how much he top sliced?
Top slice?
No, he didn't say.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, he may well have top slice. He may have taken 2 or 3%. He might have had a huge holding and taken 2 or 3% to stick into something else. But unless he's specific on the numbers, it's hard to know how dangerous that was.
In fact, you know what? I'm distracted here. So Megan's Megan's posted a picture of her with Lolly out to the pub here today, and I took a picture, right? And the colours are amazing, right? And there's no filter on those. Look at that! Look at the cat cloud is phenomenal. I said, that's amazing.
You have filtered that photo.
No, but then I said, Megan, upload that and don't change it and say no filter. But she's added a filter there because it's gone. But she said, Steve, what is Steve criticizing my photograph for? There's no, she's now added a filter to that. But originally, she posted the original. The original was amazing. I took it on my camera. The original was amazing, but she hasn't added filter there. But,
right, okay.
Steve said, no filter, happy.
I knew that would stir up.
I thought Steve had passed out. Hello, Steve. Welcome back.
No, I'm still here.
You were snoring, Steve.
Oh, was I? Sorry.
Yeah.
So that top slicing, it's just it's like a little bedtime story.
So anyway, most importantly, Paddy. Oh,
What?
sorry, Paddy.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Above and Beyond, right? John O'Grant. I've no idea. On Twitter, there's a guy liked something I tweeted about Escape Hunt, and Paddy said, "Oh, the guy from John O'Grant, Above and Beyond, wants to buy Escape Hunt," and Above and Beyond, I sort of recognised, and then there was group therapy. What is it? Paddy, explain. I don't understand. And then John O'Grant. I looked up John O'Grant on Twitter. I didn't even actually look him up. And he's got like 60,000 followers. And then his company is linked to Above and Beyond. It's like 500,000 followers. Who are they?
Yeah. So they're big DJs, and they set up. He was part of the gang that set up and Junior Beats as well. Yeah, they travel all around Europe, playing cool house music.
So why is he in
So I mean, he's going to be. I would have thought he'd be worth quite a bit of money. So between the two of you, you're probably going to own the company.
Yeah, and he said that. But he listens to the podcast apparently. I didn't realise that.
Well, next time he's doing a gig, we should all go. I can imagine. I would absolutely.
It's more trance music than tech. House music, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen him in Ibiza, and there was definitely more. It was a trance night rather than a house night.
The Above and Beyond stuff is. I think the Junior Beats is.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, the Above and Beyond is definitely trance.
So, hang on, get straight. So I've heard of group therapy. It's quite a big thing. I've listened to it before. So is group therapy?
You need it.
Is it related to Above and Beyond?
Yeah, it is Above and Beyond.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
That's
Pete,
the night.
In the WhatsApp group, Pete confused me. I said, no, Pete, and Pete's so way behind on this stuff. And I said, I've heard of group therapy. I've listened to group therapy. It's very nice trancey music. I love trancey music. And then Pete said, no, that's a different thing. And he used to have a joke about group therapy as in psychological.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we should definitely go. I mean, if he's a big fan of the podcast, we should definitely go. I mean, I'd be surprised if he's made it this far on this one, to be honest. But if he has, fair play. And I would very much like to go and see them live.
I genuinely, when I go for a walk with the dog sometimes on my own, I'm always looking for trancey stuff. I quite like relaxing trancey stuff, I like dancing music, not heavy stuff, but trancey. And that's why I come across group therapy. And this is nice. And you walk, you're in a world of your own. I've got AirPods now.
You are?
For a while, right? As you get older, you realise all you listen to is talk stuff. On radio, on TV, you just want facts and information. And then I discovered a while back when we got Lolly, our dog, I put my AirPods in and I had noise cancellation and I listen to trancey stuff and it's gorgeous. You're like just floating along, walking the dog, it's gorgeous. And that's when, before that, it's group therapy. But I didn't realise that. But yes, it's quite nice. But I didn't realise, I saw the video in front of thousands of people.
Right.
And to me, that doesn't work. Trancey stuff into thousands of people. Does that work or what? I like trancey on my own.
No, it definitely works. It definitely works.
I like trancey on my own.
Yeah, but trancey stuff with thousands of people.
That's more about you, I think, than trance music.
Yeah, but trancey is a bit more relaxed and individual and secluded. Whereas if you're standing next to sweaty people listening to trance music, does that work?
I don't think you're listening to trance. I think you're listening to something else. I think you've got your terminology mixed up.
I quite like to see Justin in a club dancing to trance. I'm not sure what that would look like.
Yeah, I think you're listening to acid jazz.
Acid jazz. There's so much.
I love this trance. That's not trance.
No, you listen to acid jazz there. What? No, that's not trance. It's acid jazz.
You're listening to a brass band.
I'm arguing with someone about. No, I'm listening to trance. It's really making me relaxed. No, that's acid jazz. Yeah. Piss off! So hang on, guys. So hang on, let me ask you a question, Pat. Are you in the same stage of life that I am, where you genuinely listen to more talk stuff than music?
I'm like 15 years younger than you.
Paddy, how old are you now? How old are you?
42.
Okay.
So really 8 years younger than me.
Well, depends what you're saying. Your
Well,
age
that's maths.
Yeah.
So what do you actually?
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I listen to Radio 1. I listen to Radio 1 only. I don't listen to anything else.
But do you listen to music? Pete, Steve, do you listen to music?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Pete doesn't. When do you listen to music? When?
When do I listen to music? Well, of an evening or in the car.
No, hang on. You sit down of an evening,
Yeah.
no TV on, listening to music. Do you really?
Yeah.
No, you do not. I can tell you're lying.
I have Amazon Music. I have Amazon Music system.
I don't care what you have.
And a Sonos music and a speaker. So yes, I listen to music.
So let me picture the scene. You're
Yeah.
sitting on your sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
A pipe,
tell me.
pipe in hand, slippers on.
Exactly. So you sitting there of an evening on your sofa. Well, are you listening to it through speakers or headphones or what?
If I'm like doing stuff on my laptop, then yeah, I'll have music playing in the background. Yeah,
What kind of music? Dire Straits. Something.
acid jazz, trance,
Steve, do you generally?
male voice choir from the valleys.
No, do you know what? I've genuinely felt in lockdown. I was talking to, I tell you what, a CEO of a well-known company on a small cap. They're doing very well. And after the podcast, we talked for half an hour about music and dog therapy. And this is really true. I know, it's really odd. And she's very successful, and the company she's running is doing very well. And I said, do you know what I've discovered? I said, I've not listened to music for a long time, and I've got these AirPods. They cost 250 quid. They bought for Christmas. And I said to Megan, you paid 250 quid for some AirPods. But I put them on, and I walk the dog, and I put some music on. I love it. It's like, it lifts you beyond. It really, I love it. I love it. And,
You've never really been into music, though, have you?
I've always been into music. Yeah. What I've realised is that I've lost it a bit. I've lost music.
Yeah,
Come
it's
back
easy
to
to
it
do. Okay. Do you remember we went to that Madonna gig?
Yeah. No, me and you, we were in the pit. We were at Madonna in Earl's Court. We were really pissed. And there's all these Madonna fans, hardcore Madonna fans, and we're in there. In with the hardcore Madonna fans. These are sad bastards.
We spent the first half hour really slagging her off, and then she came on stage and she was miming, and we continued to slag her off. And then I think we lasted like 2 songs and we just walked out. And because we were right at the front, these were tickets for like proper fans, and it was me and Justin just moaning, and we left.
There's a lot of gay guys looking at us like they want to stab us.
Yeah, we had a pint, didn't we? Went to the bar at Earl's Court and just drank.
Yeah.
But you didn't come across as a big music fan then.
No.
But Madonna, no. Anyway, listen, back to stocks. Any other stuff?
Okay, sorry.
Any other stuff worth chatting about this week? Let's look at stocks here. I've sold some big caps. I've gone back to my roots, and
C4XD, C4XD had some good news out, and it did see a rise. Well, they're not as high as you'd like to think, but
I can't help thinking that Clive's got his concentration. He's not focused on the game, is he?
I don't know. I think it was. For me, it was good to at least get some news out there, and it's just another endorsement of their tech. And it's just it's the second big kind of deal that they've talked about. And I just sort of think if this is the start of more like this, the share price will eventually be reflected. I'm sticking in with it. I think I'm up at it now, so I'm happy. And
right, so
I've got a stop loss in place, and off we go.
Here we go. Let's talk stop losses. Steve, Pete, Paddy, you wanted to talk stop losses this week. So what was the issue with stop losses? What's your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Steve?
Well, I don't think I've ever put a stop loss in. We put them in, and then you think, well, I'll just raise that stop loss. So what's your saying, Justin? Never...
I don't know, he's got so many.
No, this is it.
What's the one this week?
Never rule out the...
No, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing.
What was that, Steve?
Never rule out the downcomings, but...
I've never said never rule out downcomings.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a catchy phrase, isn't it?
You can have that for free.
Give me your upside.
Downcomings.
Yeah. Limit your downside. Never limit your upside. Okay, because it's a very... There are people out there, right, that short stocks, and that means you benefit from stock going down. Yeah. All you can ever gain on that is 100%, right? At the best, opportunity option 100%. It goes to 0. Now, if you are investing in a company going long, then you can do multiples of 100%. You can do thousands of percent, and we've seen companies do, like Argo Blockchain, and 3,000%, Power Synergy, 600%. So you're always better going long than short because, stats say that. So I always say limit the downside, but never limit the upside. So if you're in a stock that's gone berserk and you don't know what to do with it, don't just sell out straight away, because when momentum kicks in, it can carry on for a long time. So what you should do is maybe put a stop loss in somewhere and lock in your profit, but don't sell it straight away, because you don't know how far it goes. Because once you get that momentum, other people buy in. People buy just hot stocks, They'll look at the hottest rise of the day and they start buying into it. And so it'll also come up on algorithms and all that stuff. And if there's good momentum there, people will start buying in. So buying begets buying, like selling begets selling. So never limit your upside. So try and put a stop loss in there somewhere. But there's different kinds of stop losses. I mean, I remember when I started Barclays, they had a trailing stop loss, which I really liked.
Yeah.
So basically, you could say it would trail upwards. It would follow the price upwards, and you could do it on a percentage or price. And so if the stock rose by 5%, if it drops by 10% below its high, it would sell, and it would follow that. But now you have to manually do that yourself. So, for example, let's say stock went berserk and you were holding a stock and it went from 50 pence to a pound. You think, I'm going to sell this. No, I'm not going to sell it yet. Put a stop loss in at 80 pence maybe. And then if it goes higher, move that up. Say it goes to 120, then move that stop loss up to £1. Yeah. And so it goes to 140, move that stop loss up to 120. So that way you're locking in that profit all the time. So you're not limiting the upside, but you're limiting the downside. So it won't go below, say, 120, but it can keep going up. So that's what I'm saying. Never.
So but my point. So after that, I don't think I've ever put a stop loss in, and it's gone up, and I've had to move that stop loss. It's always just kicked in.
Yeah, it's always backfired on me. It happened with Gfinity, really annoyingly.
Me actually.
I would like what you're describing there, or like a ratchet where it will keep on going up to a certain point. Just in line, so that it's always set at a certain percentage below that days. Because the only thing I'm trying to avoid is those mental days where it just falls through the floor.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop that, because that would still then go through the trailing stop loss and you'd still sell. Oh, you mean like?
I'm trying to prevent myself from losing in that situation.
Yeah, but then if as long as you've got a stop loss in at a reasonable level, you're okay, aren't you? No.
Can I ask a question to you? I would put a stop loss in on a company that's really a hyped stock, and it's not a genuine. Gfinity, it's going to be a slow grind up. You get volatility days, but I believe Gfinity will go to like 10, 12, 14 pence. I wouldn't put a stop loss in Gfinity at all. I'm talking about companies like Ilika, IKEA.
Yes.
Where it's very volatile because it's very hot. That's where you may want to put a stop loss in. Any company that goes berserk within one day, does like 100%, maybe put a stop loss in there, but I wouldn't put it on a slow grinder up. So use it on...
But Ilika is a good example, because this week that we were chatting about that in our WhatsApp group, and Steve put in a stop loss there at 270, and when the share price wasn't much higher than that, and I put mine in at 250, and they've both now triggered, and they both sold. So Steve's done better out of that than me, and he's top sliced there at a much better price. But I put it further down because on the off chance, hopefully it wouldn't get down that far, but it did. And that's the interesting question, is where you put the stop loss. Because
can I suggest, right? If you're not Steve and Pete. Paddy.
Yes, Justin.
Sorry. Do you look at charts? I know you do, Pete, a little bit, but Paddy and Steve, do you look at charts at all?
No, never.
Okay. If you get into a chart, Trading View is the best. You can set it up. It's like, I've done loads of videos on that, but set it up, look at a chart. Because if you look at Ilika, for example, the top of that Ilika has been 275. It's bounced off that 3 times now at resistance level. And so you can basically say, if it doesn't get above that again, just sell if it gets below 250, And I've
well, it is below 250.
Yeah,
that's what I did, and it's triggered it. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 times now Ilika's failed at 275, and you can see it on the chart. It's very obvious. But if you're going to set stop losses, I think you need to look at charts because it's just hard to set them otherwise. But charts really, show you where to put stop losses. Like definitely, there's been a support level like at 185. If it goes below that, just sell. Because it may go lower. But again, if it doesn't break 275, again maybe sell. Sell at 275 and break it. So yeah, sometimes charts. Yeah. Why do you look at charts? Paddy, do you never look at charts?
No, not really, no.
Or Steve?
I find numbers really hard to understand.
No, but charts are diagrammatic. They show you there's no numbers.
Well, I look at charts when you're showing them on your videos. Is that good enough?
Yeah, maybe. In fact, on the next webinar, I'll look at charts. It's very interesting because they've got some very defined resistance support levels. It's like the range there, and there's a big range, 275 to 185, and it's bouncing up and down on that level all the time.
Yeah, if you're a dirty trader, you could probably kind of make some money, couldn't you? Really, trading in that range.
Yeah.
But of course, that's not what we do.
I've sold a liquor, by the way.
Right.
Have you sold it for that reason then?
No, I've sold it because I think the market's too hot, and it doesn't fit my criteria really. I think the market's going to blow up a little bit. I think Bitcoin's due to sell off. Bitcoin's nuts. The cryptocurrency market's crazy, and if people are buying into the cryptocurrency market right now, you're like 12 months late. I really think that, and I will not get involved. And I think once the cryptocurrency market blows up, and it will do sooner or later, the more determined people are that it's going to the moon, the more it'll blow up. And I think it'll crash. Tesla will crash. The market will crash. But
blimey, if drunk Justin is bearish, this is bad.
No, I'm not bearish. Listen, what I'm bearish is this. What I think is this. When I'm bearish, I see opportunity. Sometimes I've been looking around for stocks for ages. I can't find anything decent level. Sometimes you have to have a market sell-off to create the opportunities, and that's what we need at the moment. So I'm 10% in cash at the moment, and all I'm going to do, if the market sells off, is top up on companies I hold.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's going to crash though.
Okay.
Thing is,
It's bouncy.
in your head, right? Be prepared for that.
In my head or anyone's head?
Anyone's head.
Right.
Be prepared. Do you know what? I just think Americans are mad. The S&P, the Dow, everything's hit record highs, right?
Right.
There are people on the American Stock Exchange and they've had this for ages. This is how different we are to the Americans, culture-wise. They wear hats saying Dow 30,000 or Dow 3,000, or NASDAQ. They have hats on. Can you imagine in this country having hats in the FTSE 8,000? We wouldn't do that. We would not do that.
So who's wearing the hats?
Always. Trump even wore a hat saying Dow 3,000 or whatever. It's like the Americans are completely different the way we are. They champion the Dow going up to the Dow 30,000. Sorry, Trump had a hat Dow 30, and I watch CNBC. There's people with hats and T-shirts saying Dow. Hey, Dow 30,000. How different is that from where we are in the UK?
They should be wearing hats with the Fed written on it that's pumping all the money into it.
I know, but that's the way the Americans are. The Dow is at an all-time high. The S&P is an all-time high. It's basically down to the Fed pumping money in. So I don't know where it's going to crash, but do you see how different the culture is here? Is there anyone in this country walking around with FTSE 100, 8,000? No one does that.
I did see that picture of you with an escape hound.
But do you see how different America are? That's why stocks in America are valued like 5 times as high as because they champion their stock markets. We don't. We're like in this country, we're ashamed of making money almost. It's like people make fun of you if you make money in the stock market. You're in stocks, do you? But in America, they champion that. Can you imagine when you're walking around town with a hat on saying FTSE 8,000?
aim.
I know. Escape and £1. I'm going to start doing that. Come on, guys. Let's walk around with the hats on and say, escape at £1. That's how foreign the Americans are.
I'd love that. It's my birthday next month. Get me one.
You should wear it on your webinars, Justin.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing that, I think. I'm going to walk around with a hat on saying every different days on the webinar, I'll have a hat on. G-Fin, 20 pence!
Okay.
The Americans do that. For real, they do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's excellent.
And the answer to the quiz is, Pete is the only one that's been drinking this weekend.
Yeah.
Pete's very unprofessional.
Sorry. Yeah.
And,
I'm sorry if I said my words.
Paddy, Steve, and Justin are completely sober.
Damn, I didn't get that right either.
Yeah. Let's check my notes. So I covered everything up.
My notes.
Oh, Steve, you were in here. Steve, you were here last. Did you listen to the podcast last week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
About the escape hunt and 20 pence.
Yeah.
I won that, didn't I?
20 pence? That's a Freudian slip there.
No, 20 pence. We said back.
before.
I said it would hit in January. Steve said February. You guys are more British. April and March. Paddy said March. You said April.
Let's have that bet again, right? When's it going to hit 20p again?
No. Okay. I think the next bet is let's redo it then, right? Again.
Okay.
Let's get the chart up here. Hang on.
What's that now then?
Is it 40 pence? Right?
Okay.
When's it going to hit 50 pence?
No, go higher than that.
Okay.
60.
When's it going to hit 60 pence?
What are we in now? April.
Did they announce a new site this week?
No, they've got 90 sites, but one of the apparently
What was the Kingston one? Is that new?
Kingston apparently has got a massive frontage on the shop. Do you see Hammerson, which is one of the biggest commercial shopping owners? They've decided to reduce their rents by 30%, which is good for escaping. But no, Kingston, they've announced this is a massive. They are when you walk into the shopping centre there, the mall. Escapement is the main thing you see first and foremost. A massive. Richard said to me, massive shop frontage as you walk in. So it's very good advertising. You know,
Who are their main competitors in the escape room sector?
No one.
Good question there from my colleague Paddy.
There's no
It's
one
just
else.
locals, isn't it? So small little
all
local
independent simpletons. Right. Okay. So where will escape 160 pence? Paddy, what's your guess?
August.
August, right? Pete.
No, Stephen, it's gone on.
I'm just going to go 1 month. I'm going to go July. Yeah.
July, right? Okay. What month are we in? Okay. Pete.
September.
I'm saying June, September. Okay, I'll be bullish again. You're bearish. I'll win.
Yep.
Okay.
I hope you do, but there we go. The one time I wish you do win.
Lovely stuff. We talked enough, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, I think.
About 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth editing half of it out.
In fact, let's go to Steve. TV recommendations to finish off. I'd go with Industry. Have you not watched that? I quite like it. It's good.
I've watched the first.
I've got something amazing to recommend, but there's not many people who've probably got it on Apple Plus. The morning show, fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard
Fantastic.
lots of good things about that.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
good.
I've not watched
Steve.
it. I've heard it's very good.
Okay, have
I
you
don't
watched?
watch Apple Plus.
How do you get that then? You have to subscribe.
Well, I'm on my sister's family account, and she's got it for 6 months for free for some
okay.
reason. And I've just been watching it on my MacBook.
Is that with Jennifer Aniston and stuff?
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell. But yeah, very well done. Like, great storyline. So I highly recommend if you've got that.
Okay. Well, have you not watched Industry yet on BBC?
No.
It's about basically a fund manager. Basically a spread betting company. But it's finance related. It's very good, and it's quite
drama.
Yeah, no, it's a drama, but it's quite racy. There's a lot of sex in it. Young kids who are starting out their first ever.
That's fund managers for you, isn't it?
It's a hedge fund. Yeah, and these people come in, and young people they know nothing about the market, but trying to sell their accounts to like more experienced people with high net worth. So it's worth watching. It's a bit racy. It's quite good. So it's called Industry on BBC iPlayer. That's it. Good night. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Have a good weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Don't forget, don't turn up to the Windsor Castle. Floral tributes are not welcome, but you can do online condolences.
Can I just say, tomorrow this weekend I'm going up the Sugarloaf Mountain.
Right.
There we go.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve. Sounds good.
Just in case you want to know.
Yeah, that sounds sweet.
Yeah, sounds good as a funny gap, is it? Mount Hereford's knob.
No.
Cheers.
Are you gonna edit this one, Justin?
Have we finished now?
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.